What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome to the channel. Shout out to all my Canadians enjoying the long weekend. Today, Monday, is a beautiful Canadian Thanksgiving. So I'll be getting in on that turkey bird, stuffing, mashed potatoes, all that stuff. It's going to be good. I hope everyone having a good day. And I'm going to try and brighten up the day of the Dallas Cowboy fans that watch my... I know there are a lot of Cowboy fans that come to my channel. They usually like to look at the Eagles stuff and engage and get combative in the comments of my Eagles stuff. But with the injury that happened last night to Dak Prescott, that's brutal, man. I mean, I'm firmly a person that hates the quarterback on the Dallas Cowboys. I don't hate Dak Prescott. Seems like a good guy by all accounts. And, everything just kind of makes it suck. Like, you see the injury, a lot of people immediately jump to the comparison to what happened with Alex Smith with the football team and, like, how long of a road that took. And then you understand that he's like playing on the franchise tag. This is a guy that was playing for a contract, and then Jerry Jones just kept kicking that can down the road, a franchise tag, and he kind of gets screwed, and everything just kind of sucks for Dak Prescott, man. It's life's not fair. Life is just not fair, and that's what happens. I would be hesitant to say that this isn't better for the Philadelphia Eagles. This doesn't make who's going to suck the least in the NFC East that much easier, probably, for the Philadelphia Eagles. So there is some positive for me, but above all, it is brutal for... Like, I don't care about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care if you're a Cowboy fan and you're upset that you lost your starting quarterback. I don't care about you, that segment of people. Whatever, deal with it. Everyone has injuries. But I do feel for Dak Prescott. But what I'm going to do here in today's video is we're going to take it here live, Week 5, and we're going to see, at least in the realm of Madden, what happens with Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback here, because that's what's going to happen. It's the NFC Least. Dak Prescott's out for an injury. I mean, they have a lot of injuries. It's about time some of these other teams in the NFL, I'm looking at Dallas, I'm looking at like the 49ers, for example, that start to have, at least in the NFC, start to have an injury crisis like Philly has every year. Like, you look at Dallas right now, Sean Lee, I mean, what else is new? But La'el Collins is out for the year. Some of these guys aren't really huge losses. Van Der Esch is going to be, out for some time. And for whatever reason, to start today roster, they didn't have Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith's out for the year as well. So what I will be doing, I just said in the depth chart, Dak is done. We have Tyron Smith is done. Actually, might as well just go to the depth chart. That makes a little bit more sense. So we're going to be trying to see, just in the realm of Madden, right? Can Andy Dalton lead the Dallas Cowboys to winning the NFC Least? I would say, if the argument is, if you're looking at all the backup quarterbacks in the National Football League, where does Andy Dalton rank? Let's be honest. It's near the top. This is a guy that has a career record of 70 wins and 61 losses, as well as 2 ties. So he's in the positive. He's a lot of wins in the NFL. He has 200 touchdowns, 204 touchdowns to be exact, to 118 interceptions. So it's not like he has an absolute brutal touchdown-interception ratio. I mean, this guy here was a viable starter. This guy here was playing like a top 10 quarterback some years in Cincinnati. So if you're really going through the NFL right now and trying to rank, like, all right, if someone's starting quarterback went down, who would have the, you'd look at like situations like this, sure. I mean, not really the same kind of scenario, but I mean, like, Miami would be good. Philly, I don't know. I guess the investment was there, but Philly would be kind of screwed. You're looking at what teams would be the least screwed if they had to go to a backup quarterback, and I would say Dallas is near the top. We'll exclude the teams that have rookie quarterbacks, because obviously in that scenario, they're Raiders with Mariota. That's probably up there. I don't know if I'd put that ahead of Andy Dalton. RG3 in Baltimore, that's not bad. I guess you could argue Alex Smith for football team. Jameis Winston for the Saints, yeah. Like, I think you look through all these teams, you could probably make the argument that at worst, Andy Dalton would be like the 3rd best backup in the league. So, I mean, I'd put Dalton ahead of Trubisky, for sure. I would put Dalton ahead of Blake Bortles, for sure, there in Denver. I'd put him ahead of Case Keenum here in Cleveland. So let's just see. Let's go through the... again, we're eliminating all the rookies, because I said that one there gets a little bit murky with Tyrod. And so, yeah, my point being that if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, it's not the end of the world. The NFC East still is absolutely horrible. And while the Philadelphia Eagles, over the last 2 weeks, a win against the Niners, which looks kind of less impressive because they just got worked by the Dolphins, but from the win with the Niners and the fact that Philadelphia, I don't want to say played well. They lost to Pittsburgh, but they played pretty good against Pittsburgh. We saw a better Carson Wentz, but it's still not over. I think Dallas, I think with the injury, Philly should be the favorite to win the NFC East, but it's not over for Dallas. I can absolutely see Philly continue to be butt cheeks. Don't really worry about football team. Don't worry about the Giants. Giants are terrible. And Andy Dalton finding a way to lead this team to the playoffs by winning the worst division in football. So that we're going to see if he can carry that out here in Madden. We're going to go into the schedule. We're going to give them this win against the Giants here because they have it. And then we'll just get right into the season and see what Andy Dalton can do. All right, so we got the win here against the Giants. It was actually a lot more competitive than that, but this is the current landscape of the NFC East. Dallas is first place with a 2-3 record. Philly at 1-3-1. You have football team at 1. It's an absolute meme. But, when you look at the offense, right, you have someone like Andy Dalton who can be a game manager. You have Zeke and Tony Pollard at running back. Really, the wide receivers, I don't think there's a better trio in the NFL. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. You throw in the fact that, there's been a couple games this year that Cedric Wilson has made some big-time plays. They are deep. The Dallas Cowboys are right up there with, the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of, they just have so much depth. And why, the Chiefs. Dallas is there. Dallas might have the best wide receiver core in the NFC. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who could even resemble that? I mean, a healthy Saints, Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. That's probably there. Seattle has good wide receivers. Rams with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. They don't really have that third. We're looking for a trio. I don't think there's anything better. So Andy Dalton is going to have more than enough weapons. The issue is obviously the offensive line is pretty beat up, right? We have no tackles, so we're going Cam Irving and Joe Looney at tackle. We have Bidash, Connor Williams. At least still got Zach Martin on there. But, you can't really have a whole offensive line anchored by a right guard. That is going to be a tough sell. And defensively, in reality, Dallas has been horrific. One of the worst defenses in the league. Bottom 3 off defense. But they have a top 3 offense. So let's just see if Andy Dalton can keep on keeping on here. We got a nice little 4-game stretch into the bye, and we'll catch up then. We're at the bye, and this is actually ridiculous. They just beat a 6-1 Steelers team, 24-21. But injuries have continued to pile up for Dallas. We left injuries on because, we're trying to take a somewhat realistic approach. Jalen Smith is out for 7 weeks. We got McGovern, who was a starter on the line, 26 weeks. Tony Pollard's out for 7 weeks. CeeDee Lamb is out for another 3 weeks. Very injury prone, but they've been able to find a way to battle, and they're 5-4. They're still first place in the East. They were able to beat Kyler Murray and the Cardinals 28-25. Looking at Dallas here, Andy Dalton, protect the football. 150 yards. You can just run the ball with Zeke Elliott. CeeDee Lamb had a touchdown. He's no longer there. Defensively, 2 sacks from Aldon Smith. I mean, let's be honest, probably Alex Smith is going to be locked for comeback player of the year, but Aldon Smith needs to be kind of put in that conversation. It's just kind of, I don't think, what's he coming back from? Oh, being insane in an airport, just having some issues off the field. But we did lose the football team, which was a crushing loss, but they came back week 8 to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-14, where Andy Dalton protected the football. Maybe you could say that interception by Carson Wentz kind of cussed the Eagles, 70 yards. A touchdown for Zeke. Gallup had a touchdown. Dalton Schultz had a touchdown. Defensively, they got after it. Picking on the Eagles' offensive line. Xavier Woods with an interception. And then probably the biggest win for the Dallas Cowboys of the season. 24-21 over the then 6-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. This is an impressive victory. Where, Ben Roethlisberger had a nice game through the air. Andy Dalton managed the game. 230 yards, 1 touchdown. 75 and 2 tutties there for Zeke Elliott. You pay Amari Cooper big-time dollars. If CeeDee Lamb's not going to be there, you need him and Gallup to stand. Man, Michael Gallup is so underrated. Man, he's so good. Really was huge in that Giants win last night. Woujier get an interception. So we come into the bye, banged up, pretty much covered in masking tape, trying to hold this squad together, but tops of the NFC East with a 5-4 record. All right, week 16, week 17, closing out the season against the NFC East, and Dallas has a chance to secure it. They're 9-5 with Philly and the Giants to go. Looking at how things played out from when we last talked, they lost to the Vikings, 27-21. That's actually probably a bad matchup. Beat football team where I firmly believe with Andy Dalton at the helm, they should work the football team. Worst, I don't want to say. Who's worse, Washington or the Giants? It's an over debate. It's still Philly lost to the Washington. It's bad. But hey, Andy Dalton went off 365 yards, 4 touchdowns there. And then we had a winning effort. I mean, they're on a win streak. They beat Baltimore. Okay, probably not going to happen. 31-28, but at least in the realm of Madden, Andy Dalton is protecting the football. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. They follow up a huge upset, but, you know, that's a team they probably should compete with. 34-28, return revenge game for Andy Dalton. Circle your calendars. He played okay, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And we trying to do a little too much because he's going toe-to-toe with the man that took his job. But he came out with the win. And then we finish up here with the 49ers, who I don't know what is going on with the 49ers. They were a game away from winning the Super Bowl, and now they're just absolutely horrific. Who thought DeForest Buckner would be that big of a loss? Jimmy Garoppolo's butt cheeks. Andy Dalton did enough. 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. They're doing it for Dak. So we have this Eagles game. We have the Giants game. Let's see what they can do, man. Let's bring it to you live. Let's bring it to you live. At home, in my biased opinion, the best rivalry in the NFL, Eagles and Cowboys. What is going to happen? It's going to be one redhead. It's got to be Wentz gets the job done or Andy Dalton gets the job done. And you're seeing right now, I mean, there's a chance. If Philly wins the last 2 and we lose the last 2, Eagles are going to the playoffs. We're going home because Philly has that tiebreaker with the tie. So here's the first half. Actually, I'm going to be pretty much honest with you. I don't think I'm going to play this one because if Philly lose, I don't think I could ever, for any point of content on my channel, play against the Eagles as the Dallas Cowboys and want to do that. We're going to first hand. This is a high-scoring game. Dallas Cowboys. That's one thing that this Madden sim hasn't really been able to correctly represent is how bad the Cowboys defense has been. But we have a 1-point lead here in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia marching down the field, get a field goal. $1:26 to go. Can Andy Dalton do it? Gets it on 3rd down. Gets another 3rd down. In the red zone. For the sake of the video, I'll come in. And this is probably actually worse than having the computer do it. Let's see what happens, man. I mean, we are in field goal range. But this is where, you want to go for the jugular. You want to go for the jugular. Oh, almost picked off. Bring out Legatron. Legatron makes the kick. And they beat 1 point. 34-33. Andy Dalton finds a way to outduel a very effective and efficient Carson Wentz. 81% completion percentage. All right. And then week 17 against the 2-13 Giants. Dallas handles business, man. 28-21. Jerry Jones, very happy with what we're doing. I mean, this could very well happen. I mean, they're in the first round of the play. I think, honestly, as an Eagle fan, I can say this as honest as I possibly can. I'm annoyed that they have Andy Dalton. It'd be much better if they had, Cooper Rush. Or if they had, Ben DiNucci was their only guy in there. Or they had to go scrambling for whoever was there. Or they had to find a way to panic and trade to get a quarterback in. But the fact they have Andy Dalton just sitting there, I mean, there's no chance in how they're going 11-5. That's insane. But I can see Andy Dalton doing the damn thing. Look at that, man. 26 touchdowns, 6 picks, 66% completion rate. He has weapons. Andy Dalton, give him Zeke Elliott, give him Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. And he's used to playing behind a terrible offensive line, right? I don't think he's ever had a good offensive line in Cincinnati. So it could be a lot worse, I think, for the Dallas Cowboys. So trying to honor Dak Prescott, let's get into this wild card game against the 10-6 Vikings. Kirk Cousins versus Andy Dalton. All right. I think it's already this is consolation. Because if you're Dallas, you can just find a way to make the play. It's still winning the NFC Least, right? There's still a feather in your cap. Philly won it last year. It was ugly. It was meme-worthy. It still mattered. It still matters at least within the 3 teams, right? And I feel like, more so Dallas and Philly on that side of the spectrum, you almost want to, screw getting a high draft pick. Can we beat the other? That's the kind of rivalry they have. And right now, it's not looking particularly hot. We'll come in here on 3rd down on the 1. I'm pretty sure we can find a way to punch it in with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, Zeke Elliott's going to go down as one of I like playing running backs. I like using running backs. And he's probably the best running back that I'll never really play with in Madden. And how is that not a touchdown? I got tackled and rolled in. All right, we'll go. Can I go for it? Yes, sir. I can go for it. Same thing. Same thing. Attack him right up the middle. Field goal. Yeah, right. Mike McCarthy. We're gonna run right behind 70. The second best right guard in the NFL. And there we go. Zeke gets in. Huge touchdown. Don't put too much pressure on Andy Dalton. Look at that, man. We have everything to play for here in the fourth quarter. But can the Dallas Cowboy defense get the job done against Kirk Cousins? Can we stop them? We did a pretty good job there. Oh, boy. Big field goal. Legatron has been on point. Oh, no. They went for it on fourth down. They're just, it's too aggressive. It's too aggressive. But at the end of the day, what did Dalton play? What was this? What was this stat? Okay, that actually wasn't that. That wasn't that great. That wasn't that hot. But at the end of the day, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and you could use some sort of like, well, it happened in Madden. Maybe it could happen in real life. It's not the end of the world. Andy Dalton can come in and find a way to win the NFC East and get you guys in the playoffs and lose one score. Keep it within a score. Who knows what actually happens in that fourth quarter? I think some people will be like, that's not too bad. So at least we found out today that it's not the end of the world for the Dallas Cowboys. Andy Dalton could surprise some people here in the NFC East, in the NFC, and in the NFL. But as I want to wrap up this video, I mean, come on. It's just positive vibes, I suppose, because there's 0.0% chance anyone in Dak Prescott's family is ever going to see this. But, man, I hope you recover. I'm in the segment of the Eagle fan. When I beat Dallas, I want to beat Dallas at full strength. I don't want to just beat a backup. And, you know, that's what happens. When Dak's out, you're not going to have that opportunity. So, hope for a speedy recovery. Hopefully we can see you again next year and get back to a very healthy Cowboys and Eagles rivalry. That's going to do it for me today, guys. I'm going to eat some Thanksgiving dinner. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Peace out.